Hello, in this video we're looking at Brunswick Stew, which is a classic from the southern states of the US. In this particular version we're using up leftovers, whatever's in the fridge, freezer and store cupboard, so it's not necessarily the same as some of the classic versions of this you'll see. We're using pork and turkey. So a quick run through the ingredients. So we've got pork, cooked pork, we've got tomato passata, could be a tin tomato there, we've got some butter and some lard. There's a couple of cloves of garlic crushed, one medium onion diced up, tin of kidney beans, got some sweet corn out of the freezer, there's a mix of barbecue sauce and hot sauce there, chicken broth just coming at the bottom, some turkey meat and a couple of tablespoons of Worcester sauce. I'll give the full ingredients at the bottom. I'm using sweet Baby Rays BBQ sauce and Tingly Teds hot sauce, about equal mixtures of each of those, and Lil Alien's Worcester sauce. Okay, so first we're just going to stick Dutch oven on some barbecue briquettes, get the whack the lard and the butter in. I've got a mixture of the two. This is some actual cultured smoked butter I'm using, which will give an interesting flavour to it, but you can use any oil, butter, lard, tallow, whatever you've got. Get the pan hot, whacking your oil or your fat, and we'll get that melting. So this is a mix of butter and lard, pork lard, but use whatever you've got. Okay, once that's sort of melted and starting to get quite warm, we're going to go in with the onions. We'll give the full recipe below, but this is one sort of medium to large diced onion going in. We're not looking to brown this, we just want to cook this till it sort of goes soft and translucent. So that'll take a few minutes. Okay, that's had a few minutes. You can see that's gone soft now and starting to cook without browning. In we go with garlic. Just going to stir that in and give that a few seconds. Don't want to cook that too long because if it burns it'll make it incredibly bitter. That was one very large clove, but a couple of smaller, 2 or 3 cloves. It's fine. Finely chopped or grated. Okay, and then we're going to go in with our stock. So this is about 500 ml, 2 cups of homemade chicken stock going in here. And then we're going to also go in with this. I use passata. It's about 500 ml carton of passata, but you can use a tin of chopped tomatoes in with that. Just give that a quick stir, and then just cook for a minute or two, just so it starts to bubble away, almost get up to boiling. Switch camera angles because the sun was coming in from that side, so it's bleaching everything out. So you can see that's starting to bubble away now, and now we're going to go in with our barbecue sauce. So this is about a cup, 250 ml, 50-50 of Tingly Teds hot sauce and sweet Baby Rays barbecue sauce. Quite often they use like a Carolina barbecue sauce, and this was a bit more vinegary. Tingly Teds is not too hot. We're also going to go in with a couple of tablespoons of Worcester sauce there. And that's our barbecue and Tingly Teds hot sauce mixed together. Good mix, and then as I said, I'm using up whatever I've got in the store cupboard, but just going to go in with the rest of the ingredients once that's been mixed together. So starting to bubble now, so we can start adding the rest of the stuff. So there's a tin of kidney beans there. I only use those because they're in the store cupboard. Traditionally this recipe would have lima beans in there, but any beans can do. And this is about 250 grams of a cup and a half of frozen sweet corn. You can use tinned sweet corn as well. And we're going to go with pork. So this is about 500 grams, about a pound of this is roasted pork, and I've cold smoked it slightly, but you can use hot smoked pork. And then there's about half a pound, 250 grams of leftover turkey that was in the freezer from Christmas. And again, you can use any meat in this. Traditionally, this stew was meant to be made with squirrel and possum and small game, but pork and chicken is a sort of classic combination. You can also add any other vegetables. Some recipes have potato in, peppers, celery. It's pretty much whatever you've got in the cupboards, really. The main flavour is from the tomato base and the barbecue sauce, which is what the main flavours are. So we're going to just cook that away. And once it's come up to boiling point or thereabouts, give it a good stir, make sure everything's mixed in. On with the lid. Now this is sitting directly on the coals, which is a little bit too hot for cooking, so I'm just going to lift it off here. And what we're going to do is just spread those coals out so that there's none directly underneath the Dutch oven. There's sort of a ring around it to the sides. So it's getting indirect heat. That way we're not going to get anything burnt into the bottom of the Dutch oven. Makes it a little bit easier to clean afterwards. So now let's spread out. Wipe it on either side. We can stick the Dutch oven back on there. It's just going to get that indirect heat from around the base of the Dutch oven. I'm just going to leave that to sit and cook for a couple of hours or so. Every so often check it, give it a stir, turn the pan around. Obviously the heat source is uneven, so just use a lid lifter. Obviously the lid's going to be hot, and you can see it's bubbling away nicely there. Give that a good stir. Obviously all the ingredients are pre-cooked in this, so it's just for the flavours to sort of amalgamate and everything to get nice and incorporated together, and for the meat to sort of soften up a little bit in there. And what I've done, just stuck a few little coals on the lid as well, just so this, as the heat from the ones around the outside are dying down, just put a few more on the lid so it's getting a bit of heat from above. And periodically, as I said, just give it a sort of 90 degree or 180 degree turn. That just evens out any irregularities in the heat source from around the side. Stops any one side of it burning. And leave it, as I say, 2 hours, 2.5, 3 hours, just checking it regularly. Obviously if it starts to get a bit dry, you can add more liquid. And this is it after about 2.5 hours. It's sort of thickened up nicely, all those flavours are all incorporated together, and the meat's sort of nice and tender, falling apart, piping hot, and it's ready to go. That's our version of Brunswick Stew. As I say, lots of variation on the theme of this one, but give it a try. It's a nice, easy one, good way of using leftover meat from your Sunday roast or stuff that's in the freezer in the cupboard. It's nice, good flavour.